lot of fun with it, and like that's not really for me, but I'm glad it exists because Halo fans should have that, right?
So
they did none of that.
But let me hear about Destiny.
Destiny is a game that should be the game of the year. Mm-hmm. Destiny is a game that they had so many fucking resources. They had so long to do this. So many other companies got out of the way of Destiny. They're like, oh, well, we don't want to fucking ship around there because fucking Destiny's coming out. Think about how fucking profoundly disappointing Destiny is. The lack of content. When you have this huge company working on this stuff. Just top to bottom, the amount of grinding they expected you to do. The amount of repetition. The end game that was barely there. Top to bottom, that game is maybe 2/3 of a game. Maybe.
And are you factoring in the post-release stuff that they put in when you're coming up with that number?
Yeah, like they added the raid. You know, that was technically not available at launch. They added that thing. It's okay.
The raid's pretty good.
In the context of like what is in Destiny, yeah, it is. In the context of you having to grind dozens of hours of bullshit just to get to a point where you can even see what is the best produced piece of content in that game, Destiny is a fucking load of bullshit. And I played a lot of it. Not as much as you, but I played a lot of that fucking game, continuing to look at it and go like, what's going on here?
I feel
There's
like
got to be more to this.
I feel like I really tried to like that game in a way that I normally don't give games chances because of the pedigree.
There are tons of likable things about it.
Yeah. Like
that's the most disappointing part.
The character designer is really good. Early on, you don't see it, but I've gone back and I've looked and I've seen like what some of those late game weapons look like. Yeah, there is some cool shit in there. Like the basic structure of it, if there was more of it.
Every step of the way that game looked fucking killer. Every time I played that game prior to release, I was like, oh, this is it, man. Like the shooting feels fucking tight. Like this is going to be the next Halo. This is going to be the next big thing. Like Bungie is fucking doing it again. Nope.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And it's someone that wanted to go into that, and I know it wasn't another single-player adventure, but I was sold a bill of goods that I would have some fun, and I felt like I was completely gypped by the end of that. If you just play that, I was like, I'm going to jump in and play these story missions and kind of see how it goes. Like, it's a fucking ripoff.
There's barely any story in it. They offloaded a ton of text to a website and an iOS app.
At least I feel like
that game's insane.
For me, on the same notes as Patrick, I feel like at least before release, a little bit up to release, I came to that conclusion that this was not the game I was going to enjoy because I was looking for a single player. I was looking for another Halo.
But even what's there is ostensibly promised as like this story that you're going to go on, and none of it makes any sense.
I went up to Bungie to see that game.
I remember
they had people come up there saying like, "Hey, we're gonna show this thing off." And then they did this like shuck and jive in front of people where like they spent some time with, well, you want to maybe talk about what it's like working with Paul McCartney? We got to bring Marty in here. We did this. Like people in other parts of the building were playing the game and they were incredulous when we ran into them that we were not playing it while we were there. And instead, you got someone who got up in front of the crowd and said, let me tell you about the story of Destiny. It's your story. You're going to find a gun, and someone's going to go, where'd you get that gun, man? Then that gun tells a story. No, it's not, because there are fucking, like, 12 guns that matter, if that, and everyone knows where you got it. It's like, where'd you get the fucking Suros? Well, I got it dropped from this. It dropped from one of the 3 things it can fucking drop from. I bought it, or it dropped. Fucking, that game could have had it all. And maybe someday it will. But what it is right now, what they shipped, what they're selling people, is not even fucking close to that. And it's disgusting because, oh my God, at E3 that game looked so goddamn good. The beta looked so good. It was that last beta. You play it and go like, well, I hope that's not everything you do on Earth. And then they open up that moon mission and you're like, oh man, is that going to be everything you do on Earth?
And it was.
And that's like, that's a full fucking quarter of that game, if not a third. You're like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, you could write I'm sure, like, if someone with the access to the people of that studio someday should write an amazing book about what the fuck happened with Destiny.
It feels like, actually, that a story was ripped out of that game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny feels like a game that at some point, like, the contract things went in their favor, which, you know, those terms of... Yeah. One of those contracts got out there at some point, and they went, all right, we got to wrap this fucking thing up and sell it while we still own a piece of it.
Like, if what they shipped is what they wanted to ship, that is profoundly insulting.
If what they shipped is what they wanted to ship, then they spent a long time lying to people about what that game
they're
was.
like, that's it. That's
Nailed
what we
it.
planned for.
Like, no, I don't believe that's the case.
No.
Well, I feel like for the Halo Master Chief Collection, what they shipped is not what they wanted to ship either.
No.
Yeah, that sounds like just a broken mess.
What if this category had 3